Cool. So thank you. That was superb. I need to make sure that you can be here as well, don't I? I'm going to interview like on the shows. Yeah, if you just your first thoughts on like what you liked, what you didn't like, maybe things that you'd like to try differently, or if you have any injuries that you've picked up or questions that you've got for me, like let's discuss that now. Yeah, how did you find that?
I did like the workout. It was good. It was very well let through. And it was nice actually to be part of you doing the video at the same time because it gave me the time to be comfortable with the gym. Not something that I don't like since I've never at the gym. Uh, the only time I felt a bit string in my back was when we did the feed the chicken things, actually. But that only once. It was. I think it was a bit like warming up, and then I had the muscle ache from the jog from 2 days ago. And then we discussed something when we did the deadlift. Something. What was it?
As in like the form or like how it felt? What the technique? What?
Something I should say at the feedback.
Oh, because you said loads throughout the session, haven't we? I think it was maybe when you felt the lower abs starting to work at the back end of the set. Was it that we were talking about? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was that. I think that's when I realized it for myself. And then since then, you try to make me aware of like putting the belly button in. And then I felt it in the previous exercises afterwards as well.
And that's something that, was that a positive? Was that something that you maybe weren't aware of before?
I think that's something positive because that makes you feel like it feels more stable in the core. Maybe one thing was that sometimes I was not sure to, to breathe out or to breathe in, like when do what. But yeah, I liked it. It was great.
That's really, really, really strong observation, and that's my bad. Actually, yeah, next time we'll do much better at focusing on the breath and how we can use that.
You did do that in some of the exercises, but I think especially like with the deadlift, I remember my partner told me one time to breathe in when you do the movement, which is like the opposite of doing yoga basically. Like it's like when you go big you breathe in and when you go small you breathe out, and then but I remember he said when he was like showing me weightlifting that you should like breathe in when you do the lift. I'm not sure if that's true.
It's a really, really good point, and we can talk about it more as we go along. Typically, if we're going to be picking up weights, when you had really good posture and we had the belly sucked in, and like at that point, at the beginning of the lift, before we move the heavy weight, often we'll look to hold the breath. Depends like how advanced you might be. So in the beginning, it's good to take a breath in, and then as you're executing the movement, then you'll exhale through the movement. And that can change as you go through and you get more mature in the gym and maybe do different movements. So certainly, if we keep working together, that's something we can focus on next time, because I think that will help with the confidence of knowing how to set up, how to feel more steady through the movement. So I'm really, really glad you picked that up. Yeah. Is there anything you didn't like about what we did, or maybe you would want to do differently next time off the top of your head?
I don't like planking, but that's just my personal taste. But it's more.
We'll definitely put more planks in.
It's just because I feel like I like to do exercises where I'm good at, and I feel like I'm kind of weak at planking. So it's more like personal taste.
That's a really, really good one that you mentioned that. So I can lodge that in there, because there would be a balance between you've got to do things you're good at too, because it's enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
And then also bits that we need to do to get stronger. So that's really good that you mentioned that. How I'm just curious how you felt moving around the gym. Are you going to walk away feeling a little more confident about coming in if you come in on your own, or?
I was actually thinking during the session that now I would feel comfortable on going to this gym again, just because I've been here already and I was not alone the first time I entered. But I would be like, hey Helen, can you teach me a new how do you call them, instruments?
Machines.
Machines.
Yeah, or movement, yeah.
Yeah, because I think like I like to be shown how it works instead of me like looking at the icons and trying to figure out what it's for. Like that feels so awkward every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's really cool, and like I just to offer, even when I go to new gyms, if I've seen a piece of kit I'm not aware of or I haven't used before or it's different to what I normally do, I can feel a little intimidated as well. So I'm really glad that you've gone away feeling a little more like familiar with the space. And in terms of the future, so next couple of days, you got your water, which is great, and you've gotten through quite a lot of it, which I'm really pleased to see, probably more than me, so that's cool. I'm inspired. Yes, stay on the hydration, and if you want to do some of the stretches again, like keep doing that, but you're really, really familiar with that anyway, so I just encourage you to keep doing that. Have a nice proteinous meal, and if you want to talk more about food and bits and pieces, we can do that for sure after the session or whenever you'd like. Do you have any particular questions about that now, or again, you can come back to me whenever you maybe think of them?
Yeah. No, nothing particular now. Thank you, Helen.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jana. Okay, we'll end it there on our really awkward video.